Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I will be doing part 2 of the CSEC Office Administration May-June 2020 paper 1. So let's get into this paper. 31 question says, the, the clerk responsible for making travel arrangements for a staff member forgot to make a hotel reservation. The officer was due to depart at 10:30 a.m. for Martinique. The error was discovered at 9:30 a.m. on the same day. What should the clerk do to address the problem? 1. Leave the matter as they are. 2. Call the hotel, explain the situation, and make the reservation. 3. Contact the officer at the local airport and inform him of the error. So is it A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, 3 only, or D, 2 and 3 only? So the answer would be D, 2 and 3 only. 32 says, the chairperson's role in a meeting is to 1. Control the discussions and guide members. 2. Make notes of the discussion as it takes place. 3. Ensure all members are given an opportunity to speak. So is it A, 1 and 2 only, B, 1 and 3 only, C, 2 and 3 only, or D, 1, 2 and 3? So the answer would be B, 1 and 3 only. 33 says, which of the following items would be recorded as a motion in the minutes of a meeting? A, an alteration to a resolution. B, an amendment to the minutes. C, a formal proposal made by a member. D, an addition to a resolution after it has been passed. So the answer would be C. 34 says, which of the following functions is not performed by the Human Resources Department? A, preparing job cards. B, arranging training. C, providing welfare facilities. Or D, shortlisting job applications. So B, C, and D are functions of the resources of the Human Resource Department, but A, preparing job cards, that is not performed by the Human Resources Department. 35 says, there is a growing feeling among staff that concerns over their general welfare are being overlooked by management. What is the first action the staff should take in an effort to improve the situation? A, take industrial action. B, bring the matter to the attention of the trade union. C, request a meeting with the head of the organization. Or D, request a meeting with the human resources manager. So the answer would be D. 36. An employee works for 30 hours per week at a rate of $10 per hour. If he pays 8% of his gross wage as payee, then his net wage is, so we simply multiply the 30 hours per week at the rate, which is $10, and we know that is $300. And it says he pays 8%. So 8% of $300 is $24. So we deduct the 24 from the $300 and we get B, $276. Let's go to number 37. It says, in a cash book, all monies received are indicated as A credit, B deposit, C debit entry, or D credit entry. This is an easy one. We know it is C debit entry. Let's go to 38. Which of the following methods of filing classification would be most suitable for a manufacturing company with distribution throughout the Caribbean? A. Subject, B. Numerical, C. Geographical, or D. Chronological. So we know it would be C. Geographical. Let's go to 39. The term imprest means A. A special sum in the bank, B. Money set aside for petty cash purposes, C. A fixed amount of money budgeted by a cabinet, or D. A fixed amount of money used for bulk purchases. Right? Okay, you said C. Yes, that's correct. A fixed amount of money budgeted by a cabinet. 40 says, as a junior employee, you are required to file correspondence from the following companies. 1. Dr. A. Dalton. 2. Tree Felling Company. 3. Georgiana Dress Shop. 4. 8 Hours Cleaning Service. The correct alphabetical order for filing is, so we know it would be 1, Dr. A. Dalton first, then 8 Hours Cleaning Service, that's 4, then we have Georgiana Dress Shop, and then finally Tree Felling Company. So that would be A. Let's go to 41. It says, what should a clerk do if the number of items being delivered is less than that shown on the delivery note? A. Reprimand the delivery agent and refuse to accept the delivery. B. Return the goods and ask for urgent delivery of the correct order. C. Accept the delivery and ask the company to send the outstanding items. Or D. Write the shortage on the delivery note before signing for receipt of the goods. So, yes, D would be the correct answer. All right, let's look at 42. Here it says, which of the following steps should a businessman take if his cash book and bank statement show a difference of $20? A. Reconcile his bank statement with his cash book. B. Regard the $20 as interest on his current account. C. Inform the bank that an error has been made in his account. Or D. Write a check for $20 to balance his statement with the bank. So what would you say is the answer for this one? Yes, A is correct. Reconcile his bank statement with his cash book. Good. So let's go to 43 now. It says, Which of the following best describes the purpose of the petty cash fund? A. To reduce clerical work. B. To store cash efficiently. C. To prevent theft by employees. Or D. To make small payments conveniently. So, what is the correct answer for this? A. No. It's not correct. But the correct answer is D. To make small payments conveniently. So let's look at question 44 now. So this requires reasoning and reviewing of your notes. 44 says, when cash is paid from the chief cashier to the petty cashier, the transaction should be recorded as a 1. Debit in the petty cash book. 2. Credit in the cash book. 3. Debit in the cash book. All right, so 1, debit in the petty cash book, yes. That should be done. That transaction should be recorded. 2 says credit in the cash book. Yes. Yes. So the answer, 3 says debit, no. So 3 would be out. So the answer would be B. Let's go to question 45. Which of the following deductions can be made from wages without obtaining permission from the employee? A. Company health scheme. B. Automobile insurance. C. Income tax. D. Rent. So, notice the question says the deduction that can be made from wages. So right away we know that C would be the correct answer, income tax. We know that deduction is a must. Let's go to, so based on this paper again, questions 46 to 48 is missing. So we'll go straight ahead into question 49 and 50. Now this is based on, we have here a stock record and we have the description is about pencil case. All right, and the supplier is Pink Star Limited, and we have the maximum 100, minimum 50. All right, so here we have our dates, our order that was in, and the order that went out, and what came in and what went out. So 49 says, how many pencil cases were issued on the 5th of September? So let us look at the 5th of September and see. So here we have the 5th of September. So it's a issued. So that means that what went out. So we know it would be 40. So the answer would be B. Let's go to question 50 now. So here you have a workout for 50. It says the total number of pencil cases received was, so if we go ahead and take a look at our diagram, so what came in on the 3rd of September, 75, and then on the 8th of September, we got 20 came in. So that when we add those two total, we get the number 95. So A would be the answer. All right. So let's look at question 51 and 52. Now here we have an invoice. So the invoice we have from Garden Supplies and Plant Care Services. And we have the address 21 Happy Street, Bushy Park. And the invoice is addressed to Mr. Dealey. So the company Garden Supplies and Plant Care Services is addressed to Mr. Dealey, 50 New Lane, Mountain View. So the order was 483. All right. So here we have, it was a Model G lawnmower and it cost $556. So the terms were 25% discount if it was paid within 7 days, 10% if it was paid within 14 days. All right. So here at the end of the invoice, we see the term E and O. So they ask us to, the term E and OE on the invoice indicates that A, Mr. Lee should not regard this document as a request for payment. B, garden supplies and plant care services can later correct any error made when preparing the bill. C, garden supplies and plant care services may not have included all the items that Mr. Lee ordered. D, Mr. Lee can hold garden supplies and plant care services to the terms of sales as shown on the invoice. So, what do the terms E and OE means? Indicates on the. So, right away, we know that it would be B because it would indicate that garden supplies and plant care services, they can later correct any error that was made when preparing the bill. So B would be the answer. Let's go to 52. How much should Mr. Lee pay if the bill is settled on the 16th of May? So how much would he pay? So first, let's look. So it said here that discount of 25% would be paid within 7 days. So it was issued on the 10th of May. So 7 days, within 7 days would give him 25%. So when we take 25% of $556 and then we deduct, we got 139 and we deduct that from 556. So our answer is C, $417. So that's what Mr. Lee would pay if he settled on the 16th, which would be the day before the 17th, which he would get the 25%. Let's go to question 53 now. So item 53, as you can see, refers to the following transactions which occurred during the month of January 2019. Now, we have our details that are given and the transactions that took place, either debit or credit, that was made with a withdrawal. It shows the interest, the balance that he had during that month in his account, and he deposited. We can see on the 12th of and the 15th, there was a check that was deposited and a service charge was being done. So it says, assuming that there are no further transactions, what would be the opening balance on the account on the 1st of February? So on the 1st of February, so here we have it, the 1st of February. So the balance would be $155 when we deduct all the transactions. So he had $150 at the start of the 1st of January. He got an interest of $5, so we got $155. Then he withdraw $140 from the ATM machine, so we deduct $140, right? From that, and then when we deduct 140 from 155, we got 15, and then a check was deposited, which was $200. So we add that, so we got 215. Now a check was made out, which is 50, so we deduct 50 from that, and we got 165, and then there was a service charge of $10, and we deduct $10 from that. So we have a balance at the 1st of February, 155. 54 says, the operations office is responsible for planning and organizing the A, cost of production, B, marketing of goods, C, employees' contracts, D, production processes. So what do you think would be the answer for this? B, marketing of goods. No, that's not correct. D, good. D, production processes. That would be the correct answer. All right, let's move to 55 now. P, oh, this question has been a question that we're not seeing it for the first time. P has a manufacturing business. Is raw materials cost $1,900? Rates and rent total $2,000. And factory wages amount to $2,500. The number of units produced is 640. What is the cost of one unit? So what we do, we add our raw materials, rates and rent, and factory wages. We add those in total. And we got 6,400. And we have to divide the amount of units produced. So we divide that by 640 and we get 10. So C would be the answer. Yes. Takes a little workout, but we got it correctly. Now 56. So we're dwindling down to the end of this completion of this paper. So item 56 refers to the following information on the movement of stock over a 3-month period. So we had January and March. We see what was received and then issued 25 on May. So 56 says, what is the closing stock at the end of May using the LIFO method? So we know LIFO, last in, first out. So January, we had 45. And between January to March, that's a difference of 5. So 45 times 5, that would give us 225. So B would be the answer. 57 says, which of the following documents is used to report an accident in which an employee is injured? A, claims form, B, insurance forms, C, evaluation form, D, employer liability form. So this one we know is an easy giveaway one because it says once we know accident, we are reporting an accident. And the key point, employee is injured, right? So it's an employee. So we know A, B would be out totally, that have nothing. to do with an employee. So we're left with C and D. Now we know it could not be evaluation form. That would be incorrect. So the correct answer would be D, employee liability form. All right. So let's go to question 58 now. It says, the duties of a clerk in the dispatch office includes 1. Preparing credit notes, 2. Maintaining a database of couriers, 3. Liaising with the relevant department. So what would be the answer option? Is it A, 1 only, B, 1 and 2 only, C, 2 and 3 only, or D, 1, 2, and 3? What do you say would be the answer for this question 58? 1, preparing credit notes. We know that would have been out, so that could not be a part of the answer. So right away, we could use a method of elimination. We know that A and B and D, A, B, and D has 1 in the answer. So it's quite obvious. We're left with the only answer, C. So that would be the correct answer. 2 and 3 only. So let's go to question 59. So the table below is an exact from an airline schedule, which shows that the aircraft will stop in Antigua on its way to Jamaica, specifically Kingston from Barbados. So here we have the dates, we have the airport, the departure, and the arrival time. Now, it says, how long will the aircraft be on the ground in Antigua? So let's see. So from Antigua, so it arrived, after it left from Barbados, it arrived in Antigua 4:25. So we're working with that. Now it departed, it arrived in Antigua and then departed 7:30 p.m. So what is the difference? So that would give us what time? So the difference between 4:25 and 7:30 would give us 3 hours A. Right, that's the correct calculation. 3 hours and 5 minutes. Good. So it was on the ground for 3 hours and 5 minutes. Let's look at our final question for this paper. So question 60 says, what is the main difference between order forms and requisitions forms? What's the difference? Is it A, order forms are usually not signed, while requisition forms are signed? B, requisition forms are usually not signed, while order forms are signed. C, requisition forms are used externally, while order forms are used internally. D, order forms are used externally, while requisition forms are used internally. So, the correct answer would be D, yes. Order forms are used externally, while requisition forms are used internally. So there you have it. We have completed the entire paper. The CSEC Office Administration, May-June 2020, Paper 1. So if you missed watching part 1. There's a link somewhere on this video. Go right ahead and click it so that you can watch part 1. Thank you so much for watching.